Well, after seeing the release of the Beast in the last episode, and, well, Mob going true psycho, I guess, even if it wasn't under his own volition, I wonder what the future has in store. That, and the fact that he managed to... Well, that, and Mob managed to reach out and get through to this psychic who held himself as higher than everyone else, made him see the folly of his ways. One thing I know for sure, Mob being in the body improvement club and hopefully working on those neck muscles should go towards helping him to avert another crisis. Let's see. I was wondering if it was some weird imagery, but no, it's Mob just making a water bubble. And his brother having some... Oh, I thought if he had some trauma with water, but no, he's trying to birth his own psychic power. And while Mob himself doesn't see being psychically gifted as a strength, his brother is very, well, trying incredibly hard to emulate that kind of ability. And did Dimple himself actually get himself exorcised from the world entirely? Can't say I'll be entirely saddened if that is the case. I kind of want Raiden to obtain a little bit of psychic power so that he's no longer a complete fraud. He is communicating with the spirits. I mean... as soon as he gets caught out for something... Oh, the connection's gone. Being able to trick people that are grieving is something that, you know... I mean, if he is communicating with the world of spirits, then the guy himself being able to speak a language he doesn't know... You have to be careful here. You don't want to just wittingly agree to everything they say in case they're trying to trip you up. What was that? When all's said and done, comes down to M- money. Do you think that would work against... It's a spirit inhabiting the body of someone. Hurting the person isn't going to affect the spirit, even if it was real. Ah, Mob and his little reception desk. Depending on the situation. The school was repaired, though. He has brought help to quite a few people, but if he can learn to become one with his abilities and, seal off the damage done when he is unconscious. The walls are closing in on Mob, aren't they? Well, she was at the cult meeting and saw what he did then. Is it something that you want to tell a reporter, though? Even if it is for like a school newspaper. So her search isn't for extraterrestrials isn't over then. She can just find someone else to help her. One that is apparently quite acceptable to Mob. Does the telepathy club actually exist anymore? Well, maybe in name only. Looking out for their members. Oh, cool. He can be cordial. So his brother got the wrong end of the stick there, but what has he had to face to have his... Well, what has he had to face to have his face look like that? Quite a lot of stress has come across him then, hasn't it? That's a difficult situation, though, with delinquents, I guess, because the more you push against them, they're going to push back. Well, that's not suspicious. Never accept an invitation with someone like that kind of facial hair. Nice shoulder pads. Is it loitering or just lost in thought for a moment? Normal is subjective. Depends what kind of scale you're looking at as well. He can't keep up. But he does try his best. Yep, stamina and cardio is something I really need to work at. How does he know who he is and why? Oh, there was actually a research facility. So he's just like a madman with money who hired people who are good. Kind of like Elon Musk. It's nice to have people that don't know when to stop. Really advances technology, for better or worse, I guess. Who? So unlike someone who is just now you're getting distracted. Ah, poor ice cream again. At least Mob doesn't have one to replace it with. So yes, apart from facing a guy who is obsessed with himself with his psychic powers, there's now someone who is potentially quote unquote evil. Okay, 62%. It's not bad, 1 out of 10, but yeah, it's not many kind of niche uses. That one's actually the most impressive out of all of them so far. Mainly creating flames out of no starter. Yes. And he's trying to make something of himself, or ah. Sometimes it does take that childish nature to push through with things when other people tell you it's impossible. Always in his brother's shadow. Oh wow. Ooh. So I was right. It really does come across on his face. What? How are the two connected? You see, I've never had that kind of inferiority complex with my brothers, and I don't think they feel the same either. Um, but I know that they're better at certain things, and I'm better at certain things. You got to find your own use. Should you really be messing around with someone else's property? Planting evidence. Hmm. Oh, so now he's holding the recorder head as well. I think it's much more impressive that he's managed to shit in hell. The fact that there's one piece found in one guy's like desk really doesn't mean anything at that point with the shit all across the floor. Despite when I have exercised and whatnot in the past, I still haven't felt that elation with the dopamine from exercising. But that's just me, I guess. Some people. Oh, he's got a good record then. Oh, nice. Even if he is a delinquent, he cares about his statistics, I guess. He doesn't even know what's going on. So quick to judge, especially when it's not even a locked thing, so anyone can do it. That's where you went straight away. Sure, but that doesn't equate to deviance. Oh dear. His brother is quite easy to drag down into his level. One thing that I truly cannot stand is being falsely accused. Even had that kind of voice back then. The one opinion that would actually truly hurt him. His his public image tarnished. Is he seeing the error? Maybe if he talked to Mob instead, he'd get some good results in his research. Well, we didn't have a towel at hand, I guess. Oh dear, we're seeing the true antagonist appear. Much like Mob when emotions are heightened. Interesting, but I think it could have been drawn out slightly more without him meeting Dimple. I'm also not entirely sure on how I feel about the resurgence of the green fart ghost. How many people now is it that? Because it started off with only knowing Mob being this like the only psychic Esper type, and it's slowly growing, and now his brother's just wandered across a research facility with a few of them. Sure, they may not be on any particular interesting level, but hmm. It seems as though those anti-piracy measures are really cranking up. But if that's what it takes to get my anime, might be worth it. Also, with his brother awakening his powers. I'm sure visiting that facility should have tipped me off quite heavily, but still, I can only see the future where Ritsu is going to do something, cause a lot of trouble, and Mob's going to think that it was actually him, and then have more of a burden to bear. Also, how utterly small-minded that plan was to basically entrap that delinquent. If your plan works and he is, kicked out of school, or he quits school because of it, well, then he's just going to become problems to society. Sure, not be your problem, per se. You're really just, expediting the issue, aren't you? Rather than trying to reform them, you shun them and make them worse. Where have we seen that before? And also, if it was for your maybe even a warped sense of justice, okay, there would be at least something redeeming about it. But no. That sense of elation and joy that the student council president got out of it, someone needs to put a stop to that rather soon. Or all of that perverse pleasure. We might be creating a much more twisted individual, more dangerous problem for the future. Would no one have ever noticed that their recorders are going missing? And if he was taking them home, like it was stated with it being in his bag, why would his bag be still full with them? It's almost as if people don't actually think through these things. This is why pure emotion-driven kind of arguments and, well, they don't quite hold up to the facts, do they? But it is definitely looking fun for the future, with potentially psychic power running rampant, and if he is now growing and learning to be his own Esper, where would he place himself against his brother? Considering he's doing much better at school, he's better at socialising, and now he's obtained the one thing that had set him apart. There's only one way to truly find out, and that's to return in the future. Make sure you do so. If you liked this episode, feel free to leave a like and maybe even a comment down below, and to make sure to never miss out on future antics, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell, because this is looking to be somewhat deadly. But make sure to get yourself some rest. See you in the next one. One thing I am pleased about is that my patrons don't have any lingering resentment towards me. Well, none that they've actually shown. Well, I'm not entirely sure I can do anything about it, so I guess in the meantime, Flordotaku, Sal, Raywin, Yuki Ali, Aegis TR, Denamet1997, Louis Almanza, Aisha M, Danny Tree, and, of course, everyone else. Stay calm, stay collected, and thank you.